What's going on, my broskiis? My name is TheLordShiro, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we're here to talk about the next upcoming Super Evolution that we do know about. So currently, if you go to Pirate Rumble, and we've got the current Pirate Rumble season with Boa Hancock, we have just hit the Championship Series. This is going to be concluding very shortly. We've only got a little bit over a day left, so I would think at news time tonight, we're probably going to get official reveal of the next character. Now, through data mining, we actually know who the next Pirate Rumble season is going to be about, and that is going to be none other than V3 Sakazuki Akainu. Now, this character is a bit of an interesting one. This character actually debuted on the global version first. I actually was a part of the Bandai promotion for this in particular character. I think I actually made a dedicated video for this unit as well, so that was awesome to be a part of that. And it's kind of cool that he's finally getting his Super Evolution. I believe this character actually debuted on a Pirate Rumble banner, or this character was supposed to be in line with being like a Pirate Rumble legend. He was like a Pirate Rumble legend before Rumble Legends were actually a thing in One Piece Treasure Cruise. So as for Sakazuki, I want to make this video to kind of dedicate to this guy, discuss what his current abilities are, and what we could potentially see moving forward. Now, we did this when Boa was announced to be the next Super Evolution, and what we discussed in that, I mean, we didn't get anything right pretty much in that video, but it's just kind of interesting to kind of discuss, right? So let's go ahead and talk about this guy, Strength Fighter Shooter, which is a pretty interesting class combination. You don't see Fighter Shooter all that much. I mean, you've got like Halloween Ace, for example. That's the one that springs to mind immediately, but Fighter Shooter is very uncommon class combination, which is interesting. As for his captain ability, he says that if you only have strength, dex, and quick characters on your crew, then it boosts the HP of those units by 1.5, 4.5 times attack with a matching slot, 4 times otherwise, and then makes sight in recovery and tandem slots beneficial to the crew. This captain ability, when it first came out, was actually pretty decent. It was just super solid, especially when you've got really strong characters as well, like Legend Lucy at the time was incredibly powerful, and obviously worked really well with V3 Kuzan, who had a very similar type of captain ability that wanted you to run like strength, dex, and quick characters. Very similar type of thing. Lots of HP, solid attack boost at the time, and lots of matching slots. When he first came out, captain ability wasn't really that bad. But of course, the main issue is that we're at a point now where just providing health, matching slots, and an attack boost doesn't really do all that much. You need something additional to make him worth using in content. So I'll talk about the captain ability once we move over to the special, because as we've seen with a lot of recent Super Evolutions, the special ability can also play part in the captain effect, like what we saw with Boa Hancock, right? Where Boa had a part in her captain ability that would extend the duration of chain buffs, and then of course she applied a chain buff with her special. So what exactly does Sakazuki do with his special? Now, his special ability is actually pretty dang good. Reduces enemy barriers by 3 turns, already very good. It sets all enemies' defense to 0 for 1 turn, and then boosts strength, dex, and quick characters attack by 2.25, and boosts damage dealt to defense down enemies by 1.75. So pretty good, honestly. Removing 3 turns of barrier, defense to 0, and then you get an attack boost and a conditional boost against that defense reduction that he applies. So there's not really a lot wrong here. He's got some pretty nice abilities that I see here. The one thing that obviously stands out is the fact that the defense reduction doesn't go through full immunity, or it doesn't go through defense immunity, defense down immunity, that is. So that would be one thing that I would love to see, whether, you know, if you have a certain color or class captain, he allows the defense reduction to go through defensive effects and status effects. That would be awesome. But this could also play part in his captain ability. Potentially there could be a component in his captain, like if you tap on this character with a certain type of slot, he immediately inflicts defense reduction, you know, through immunity with his captain effect, so that even if you don't apply defense reduction with his special, because it doesn't go through, you know, status effects or anything, you could still potentially apply it in the captain, which would give him a point of difference. And that's the thing that you got to have with these types of units. You know, it's really hard to release a character these days that's going to overtake Super Sugo Fest exclusives, you know, because Super Sugo Fest exclusives are incredibly powerful, we all know that, but they need to give these Super Evolutions reasons to be used as captains. And if you apply a part in his captain effect that can inflict defense reduction through immunity, that is a particular reason to use him, especially when you have a conditional boost that you can apply with the special ability as well. So I think that would be pretty wicked. Another thing that I just thought of right now is the fact that he would actually have relatively good synergy with the Exchange Sugofest Legend Ace. So the free Legend Ace that you can, buy from the Exchange shop, buy from the Treasure Map shop, the Rumble shop, etc. That unit, I think you need a striker or a shooter captain, and he double stacks conditional boosts. Ace gives you an ignited conditional boost. This guy can do defense down. So that would be interesting if Exchange Ace and Akainu, conveniently work together to actually build a pretty good looking strength shooter team. Just an idea that I was thinking about that could work relatively well. But I mean, if you take other components here, it's a 1-turn attack buff, 1-turn conditional, 1-turn defense down. Potentially as a captain, he could extend those types of buffs, extend duration of conditional boosts, extend attack boosts or something like that. And then I think honestly with a super evolution, these would need to be buffed as well. 2.25 should be buffed to at least 2.5 and probably for 2 or 3 turns, and then the defense down conditional boost should be up to at least a 2 times conditional, and that also should be either for 2 or 3 turns. And if they're going to make him a conditional boost for potentially 3 turns, if he has some type of way to make the defense reduction go through multiple different stages, kind of like what the dual unit Beppo and Law can do. If you use their special ability, they get a clock buff, and then after 1 turn has passed, you can apply defense reduction again. So something similar to that would be pretty interesting as well. He doesn't do damage with his special either, and damage dealing specials are just a lot nicer to use because they enable certain supports to be activated. So that would be cool if he got access to just a little bit of damage, whether it's 100,000 fixed damage to all enemies or even 100,000 to one target. Something minor like that would be pretty good. So that's in terms of his normal effects here. Captain ability, he either needs a really good utility effect, or defense reduction through status effects, or removing certain debuffs by a certain amount of turns. He needs something like that in his captain effect, and cooldown reduction would obviously be nice to have as well. And then the special ability we've already talked about. They need to up the numbers for sure, and then potentially add something else in here. I'm not really too sure what they could potentially add. If we have a look at the rest of his abilities, his first crewmate effect makes strength slots carried over to the next turn when you hit a perfect. So that's whatever, honestly. And then crewmate ability says he adds 9 times his attack on top of tap timing bonus damage. So just a little bit of bonus damage whenever you do your normal attacks. Support effect is just some base stats, so there's not really too much we can grasp at where they could really buff this guy in terms of his normal kit. Kind of just giving my opinions out there. They need to add a little bit more to make him more usable, and as I said, a point of difference in his captain effect to make him warrant running as a captain these days, Now, another thing is that when he first came out, he was kind of sold as a really good unit to be used in Pirate Rumble. So let's go ahead and have a look at his Rumble abilities because they are definitely outdated. So we have a look at his special ability here. Strength, so this is the Rumble ability. Strength, Dex, and Quick get 5 attack and 5 speed. And then for the first 50 seconds, he gets a further level 5 attack up to himself. And then when the time is 40 seconds or less, all enemies get level 5 defense down. That's actually really good, but the fact that it's only able to be used in the final 40 seconds is a bit harsh, so they need to rework this a little bit. The defense down to all enemies is incredibly strong. I don't know if they're going to make that timed, but if they make that active all the time, people are going to run this guy just because of that. I recently made a video, showcasing the Memory Legend Straw Hats, specifically talking about Sanji. And that character's Rumble ability gives level 5 defense down to Int, and having that on your crew makes such a big difference. It just makes your whole team so much more potent against Int enemies, and this guy does that, but it's for all enemies. It's pretty strong. I do think that this would be a really neat effect. They just need to rework it a little bit. And then the special ability definitely needs some work. 33 CT, which is on the higher end. It targets one enemy with the highest recovery for defense down level 5 for 15 seconds, and then targets that same enemy for 5 times damage. One of the highest hitting multipliers that we've seen in the game, but 5 times damage these days only to one target doesn't really help that much, and then targets enemies in a large range for damage over time level 2. Damage over time makes sense for Akainu Sakazuki with the magma effect, slowly burning away at the enemies. Damage over time has never really been meta in Pirate Rumble because it's just a really slow working damaging effect, whereas if you just do damage through defense, it's just better. So what they need to do is probably lower the special CT, and if they're not going to lower the special CT, which they need to do, they probably should severely buff this special. It should actually target enemies with the highest attack for big defense down, and then you do big damage, and it probably should target more than one enemy as well. And the damage over time, if that's further buffed as well, that would be nice. Potentially do damage through defense to a certain amount of targets, like, you know, potentially like if you're up against a strength X or quick enemy, do a little bit of damage through defense, or fixed damage would be nice too. This guy wants to be an offensive threat, and currently it's only doing a bit of damage to one target, which is honestly a pretty big issue. As for the rest of his effects, he does evade action bind, and then also the damage reduction versus dex, and then does increase damage dealt to dex enemies. So that's pretty neat. You don't see that too often in a resistance, so this could be buffed severely. So that's going to be interesting to see what they get with his super evolution. But that's just the rundown of V3 Sakazuki. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about this guy down below in the comment section. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. On that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.